went to Peabody High School. We both played on the football team. During practice, I was climbing around in practice. I asked Sean like, "Hey, what's going on?" I think I was talking about smoking. He was like, "I smoke too." So I was like, after practice, yo, let's meet up.
He said, "For real?"
I was like, "Let's
really
meet up."
smoke?
I was like, man, this white boy do not smoke. I was like, you probably smoke a little bit of weed, but I'm about to smoke him under the bus. So I told him to meet me after practice. Long story short, tried to smoke him under. He did not go under. We was just friends forever after that.
No doubt. I got some lungs. So yeah, I would say, I remember that practice. It was, I think I was in 9th, you were in 10th. And let me think here. Yeah, we were just doing like high knees and like the, all the little warm up shit. He was just talking shit. Yeah, I smoke. I said, bro, I smoke too. He said, man, get the fuck out. Anyway, like you said, we did link after practice. May or may not have smoked a couple L's, and the rest is kind of history, man. That was like 03. So that's almost, it's about 18 years ago. It's a long ass time. So yeah, I mean, we definitely been friends longer than we, haven't been friends, if that makes sense, for sure.
No, it wasn't our first business. We actually was working with Dan Myers. He's a big video photographer here from Pittsburgh. He bought a studio, and we were the graphic designers of the studio. He did videos. It was a one-stop shop for rappers. You could come through, get your video done, get graphics done for your CDs.
Little E was even taking some photos back then.
It was...
yeah, like you said, bro. We started off doing like some of the graphic design. I actually grew up with Dan and like know his whole family and shit too. We both grew up in Highland Park area, so I've known him the whole time. But started out doing graphic design, whether it would be flyers or mixtape covers, and just kind of hustling it up. That was mostly during college, so I would say like, 06, 07, 08, like those kind of years. We were definitely laying some of the groundwork for it was called Double D Productions, what we call Dawkins, Devine, so that's where we got the Double D from.
Yeah.
Anybody who knows me, I still use that as my personal email, doubledcontact@gmail. So if you ever wondered, like, hey, where did that's what it is, Double D Productions. So
we also bought a CD duplicator.
For sure.
So you could get everything.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody that's doing mixtapes, anybody that's doing CDs, we had the whole entire operation in one stop.
Even middleman a lot of the printing jobs too.
They made a lot of money off of it too.
That's right. We were just trying to scrape by and do what we could do, try to get some money during college years and like first couple years after. And I mean, it's crazy to say because a lot of that graphic design work, I mean, that led us to not only really help out a lot of our friends and family with different logos and flyers and business cards, but also really do some of the initial logos for Refresh and Daily Bread without having to really come out of pocket and pay a different graphic designer. So one, we're able to save some dough doing it, and two, I mean, we kept all the creative control as to what we want our logos to be, what we wanted our clothing design to be, and I mean, that's how we saved a lot of money on startup costs, was really by doing a lot of that shit ourselves.
Yeah,
for sure. Refresh, it was 2013.
Yeah,
I know for a
2013.
fact just because when we established like the LLC, it was July 2013.
Brittany's house.
Oh yeah,
Lincoln,
for
Lincoln
sure,
10.
definitely. Shout out Brittany, what up?
Brittany, my little cousin, my little big cousin.
Definitely.
We were selling shoes out of her house.
Yeah, it started with
The IG.
yeah, I mean, and even like, I mean, we were dibbling and dabbling even before IG. Before it was like a really like set in stone business. I mean, we were on Tumblr with it.
Mm-hmm.
We were on Nike Talk with it, like posting our "What did you wear today?" Your pickups. I remember grabbing the metallic 5s in 2011 and being like, "Yo, we gotta post a picture," and you were like, "Oh, picture for what?" And I'm like, "Bro, the Nike Talk account is popping. We gotta get the Tumblr going." Because we really, at that time, we still thought that it was gonna be music that we really fucked with that was gonna kind of take us to that next level. I always thought I could be kind of like an A&R and/or marketing publicist. I still think that I could. So if anybody has an opportunity, holler. No, I'm just playing. But that's something that we always, we thought that music would be tied in with it, but it ended up going a different way. And I mean, I think our passion for sneakers and clothes really like took us that route. and really just being primed for, like, we set up the business really before sneakers had kind of ascended to what they are now. And I remember it was really like the first couple weeks that Instagram existed. We locked down, that we came up with the name, we came up with the logo. It wasn't the same logo that we have now. It was a little shittier, you know, but it was still dope. But we came up with the name and, you know, kind of concept for the business. And literally the first month that Instagram was around, we locked in the handle and started posting on that shit. This is when you had to have an iPhone, or people were...
No Androids.
Yeah, and then even if you didn't have... Like, yo, people were buying the iPod Touch.
Just to get on IG.
Yeah, to download the app and get on IG. So it was definitely a different experience then. But yeah, it's just interesting how social media really rolled out right with us, and we were kind of like right on time with that shit. But yeah, that's how we formally started it and kind of came up with the name. It was, you know, chilling after our regular jobs, smoking blunts at Brittany's crib, at the kitchen dining room table, and, you know, just bringing my computer over, you bring your laptop, whatever, and we would just like brainstorm ideas.
Yeah.
And we were still doing the graphics, still doing, you know, shit, we might be talking about refreshing. Ding, 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 ding. The CD, DVD duplicator pops out. We got to swap, you know. So, and that's like a lot of the behind the scenes shit, a lot of people, and for us, we always polish it. And you know how Instagram and social media in general, you want to show your highlights. For us, being city dudes, we always wanted to be like kind of corporate facing. And that might have actually over the years kind of did us a disservice, because now we're really like, yo, so many people want to know about our story. They want to, how did it start? How did you guys become friends? What's the story? So, you know, maybe being corporate facing, it was great for some aspects, but it might have hurt our growth a little bit you know what I mean? But at the same time, we established a great business. So there's no time like today, but that's why we're kind of going through it and giving a little glimpse into our personal life, because the people are asking us, you know? So I think it's a cool thing to get into.
10 minutes on it?
No doubt. Oh shit, what?
First one?
Yeah, first one was at
the
August Wilson Center.
August Wilson Center. Downtown.
Yeah, African American museum down there. We actually worked with Kicksaholic, your cousin Jermaine, at the time, and another homie, I don't remember his name, but he like had worked for Whammo or something like that. So we kind of collaboed with them, you know, because the way that we saw it was, yo, we got the sneaker knowledge, we have the social media platform that was kind of popping, but
they had to outreach to other people that
100%
that we basically didn't have to reach.
That we thought that they would kind of fill the gap as to what we needed. Now, I do remember kind of being disappointed with their contribution for the event.
Definitely.
Nothing personal at all, but when it came down to business, you know, this is before we even had the store too. Mm-hmm. So we were, you know, we had sold almost 90% of the pre-sale tickets ourselves. We locked in 100% of the booths ourselves. So, you know, we were still scraping past at that minute. I remember after the event, like, the event went well. You know, it was really good. It was covered by the Post-Gazette, all different, it was all great shit.
Wow.
But then I remember having to break those dudes off half the money. I just didn't feel.
I didn't feel like
good about it.
I didn't feel like they deserved it.
So I think that's kind of when we decided, like, yo, this is something. This is our shit.
We want to do this just by ourselves.
These dudes might be able to promote a club event, but when it comes to the sneaker scene, like
that was us.
It seems like it's gonna have to be us to kind of, you know, carry the torch and kind of lay down the foundation.
Definitely.
So, yeah, that was definitely a turning point in the business when we did our first convention. And I mean, it was a huge success, man. Definitely.
I think that's when we definitely like really sat down, like, yo, we really want to have to take over the shoe stuff in Pittsburgh.
For sure.
Like, we gotta be the
But I remember even thinking, like, yo, it wasn't even it was like the people decided. They're like, yo,
they did. They chose
like, thank you so much. Like, what's next? And we had to be like, oh shit, what is next?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
they kind of had the demand, and we tried to meet it.
Swear.
I think we
we delivered, man. For sure.
We delivered everything that we were supposed to.
Sitting back at this point, you know, with COVID and everything, we haven't done an event in about a year and a half to 2 years, whatever that March was right before COVID hit. But I mean, we got 13 conventions under our belt. We did them everywhere from August Wilson to the Irish Center. That was crazy. If you were there, that shit was fucking crazy.
Everybody that went to the Irish Center,
that shit got shut down.
That was
I remember,
this
bro.
convention.
I remember my mom.
In Pittsburgh history.
I remember my mom walked in, and my mom, what up, mom? She was very apprehensive about me making sneakers my career or my life. She came into the event. She looked around. She said, "Okay, Sean, I get it. You know, I get it." And I was like, "Thank you so much." Because I want my parents' blessing, you know.
We look for that approval from our parents. We look up to them a lot.
But no offense, but we would have did it regardless, though.
Definitely.
No, because it's just, this is what we're passionate about. But it was almost like at that point, dudes were like, well, what's next? So, you know, we continue to do the events, but, you know, obviously where we're at now was the beginning of the store and really like establishing the shop as a staple in the city. So that's pretty much how it all began, how the conventions really tied into that.